Oil has come down in the past week. Um, the war premium is shrinking, so I think the market does believe the war, at least as we've been seeing it, is largely ending, and that more premium for oil is shrinking because at $74 oil, we're not too far away from the $65-ish level we saw prior to the invasion.
All right. If we go here, see?
It's really the market itself starting to price in the just the 10-year. It's really the market itself starting to price in the idea that the Fed has to hike. So if we
See? So the market is pricing in the idea that we may get rate hikes. So maybe Bitcoin is reacting quickly to that because obviously interest rate hikes are bearish.
America even took it a step further today
Oh,
and
look
it
at
hikes
this.
before the end of the year. In fact, Bank of America even took it a step further today and is actually now calling for three hikes this year, one in September, one in October, and one in December.
Jeez. So maybe that's the reason why we're seeing that crash take
Is
place.
shrinking because at $74.
It looks like we're good. I don't see nobody typing. Do I refresh here? Let me see something. Let me refresh. Okay, I don't see nobody typing, man. I think we're good on the audio though. But that could be the reason for the rate hike because people are, the market is pricing in, or that could be the reason for the Bitcoin crash, I should say, because the market is pricing in rate hikes. Premier digital asset has plunged 50%. Massive unwinding of corporate and institutional leverage. So we're under 60K right here. Shifting Federal Reserve policy, rate hike fears. Federal Reserve reversed expectations of rate cuts, signaling two potential rate hikes. I always got to trust the AI. I just wanted to show you guys a video from someone that is, way more successful than I am. Also, given that information as well. Hawkish macro environment. A strengthening US dollar under a hawkish Fed environment is dampening global demand for risk assets, right? Remember, when interest rates are high, guess what? Nobody wants to bid risk on assets, and Bitcoin and crypto are risk on assets. So that's potentially, Bitcoin may be front running that, right? Because with rate hikes, what are the interest rates right now? Let me actually check. What are the Fed interest rates? Let me check that. What's up, Russ? You think it's fixed yet? Okay, thank you so much, J-Dog. What's up, Buckets? So right now, the interest rate target here is 3.5 to 3.75%, okay? And if they raise the rates, it's not going to be a good environment for crypto, okay? But as I said, and I keep saying it, just don't rush. Be patient, okay? Just see it as opportunity. You have altcoins that you're bullish on, whether it's Monad, Lighter. A lot of people are looking for a dip on Lighter. I'm sure it's dipping now because we're going deeper into extreme fear, right? $1.50. Banker, Serve, Avicii, you name it, man. You name it. Venice, a lot of people are looking to get into Venice. Now we're getting those dips here, and we're getting into extreme fear. See it as opportunity, in my opinion, right? See it as a time frame where, like, okay, I have more time to dollar cost average. If you're on the sidelines, don't wait fully for, like, oh, the exact bottom. Don't wait for the exact bottom. Just start getting exposure. That's all I've been saying, man. We're in extreme fear. Start getting some exposure to the market here. Bitcoin under 60K. Everyone is fearful, right? What does Warren Buffett say? Warren Buffett, best investor of all time. Warren Buffett, best investor, says, be greedy when others are fearful, right? Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. I bet you a lot of people are fearful right now. And this is the thing, you could be bearish or greedy to the downside too. People are saying 38K. I don't know if we're going to get that low, right? I don't know. Can I say I don't think so? Will people attack me if I say I don't think we're going to get that low? I don't think we're going to get that low. That's just personally my take, okay? If I'm wrong, just call me out on it. I don't think we're going to get that low. I think we dropped to maybe 51K, 50K. Maybe even 45K, not 38K, not 39K, personally, okay? But you be greedy when others are fearful. start getting some exposure to the market, in my opinion. How much lower can we go? I think I just explained that, but again, a lot of these projects we talked about, I don't think they're going anywhere. Maybe they have pullbacks now. A lot of them are going to have pullbacks now. But again, just see it as opportunity. If you never got exposure to some of these projects that did well, and we talked about them on the channel, now's a good time to start, okay? And obviously, just be patient. You could start dollar cost averaging, like I said, every week. When you do get some extra money, right? Never invest more than you're willing to lose. When you get some extra money in your hand, maybe it's every 2 weeks, every week or every 2 weeks, you got a little extra money. You could get some exposure into these altcoins, man, right? Like, again, people like VVV. I was telling someone in the private Discord, see, look at that. At $15, I was like, don't. He was asking, do you think it's gonna go lower? What do you think? I was like, I think it was Raul. I was like, Raul, I wouldn't be able to tell exactly. The best thing I could tell you is dollar cost average. You got a $500. Just get $100 exposure now and be patient. Just wait a week. And it hasn't even been a week. And now VVV's at $12 here, right? So now he could get an even better entry with the rest of that $400, depending on how much he's invested. I'm just giving an example, right? And then you never know if it drops to $10. You see, 1 week you toss in another 100 here at $12. Maybe it drops to $10, you toss in another 100, right? Obviously, never invest more than you're willing to lose. Banker back down to 38 mil. Great spot to DCA into Banker here. Back at 38 mil. Always bullish on this project here. Monad, under 2 cent. Bitcoin really is controlling. Bitcoin is the king, man. And when Bitcoin goes down, a lot of the alts feel it, right? Monad here, 19 cent. Good spot to DCA. I'm telling you, now is the time to start to get exposure and just patiently. You got some extra money, tossing it in projects that you believe in, you have conviction on. We already looked at Lit. I bet you Avicii's back at $1 here or under $1. Boom. Avicii recently had a massive bounce, right? Up to $1.44. It's still making higher lows though. It's still bullish to me. And let's see, Serve is probably under 4 cents. Yep. I'm telling you, good time to DCA, man. That's just me, personally. Let me know if everything's good as far as the audio and everything. I think so. Like, again, people like VVV. Okay, yeah, we good, man. It looks like we're good. So yeah, market is anticipating rate hikes instead of rate cuts, and because of that, we could get more bearish, man.
It's not entirely surprising because Jeffrey Gundlach frequently talks about how you should look at the 2-year Treasury and it leads the Fed and tells us where the Fed has to go.
Okay.
For instance, this is for the past 5 years, the 2-year yield, which is in dark, and the Fed funds in red, and the bottom half of this chart is the spread. So between 2023 and 2025, this was telling us that the Fed actually was overly tight and they needed to cut. Now, that's something we talked about, how the Fed was behind the curve. But it flipped recently. As you can see now, the spread is positive 0.6, meaning the Fed actually needs to...
They may need to hike. And, hiking rates is bearish for the market. That's just facts, okay? How low can we go? Man, are we gonna get all the way down to 38K for Bitcoin? Is it really gonna be all the way down to 38K? I don't know, man. Well, again, even if we do get that low, I bet you could scoop up a lot of alts for cheap. When everyone's fearful, I bet you could scoop up a lot of these alts for cheap, man. Let's say you got $1,000 to invest in crypto, you're gonna be able to stretch that $1,000. Yeah, if we get all the way to 38K. But I think we're going to drop to maybe 50 to 51K. I think that's going to be the low, personally. I could be wrong. Come at me if I'm wrong, okay? I don't mind. But you got $1,000 only to invest. You put 200 here, 200 here. 200 across 4 or 5 projects. because guess what? That's gonna yield great returns, right? You put 200 banker, 200 serve, monad, you name it, man. Or even if you put $1,000 into one coin that you're like, okay, I got so much conviction on this. It's better to diversify though, because you never know which one is gonna take off first. So diversification is key. But yeah, Bitcoin down 7-8% here. If you guys got any questions, man, just type in the chat. I think the audio is good. I think we're good. I don't see much people type in though. Let me refresh, see if I'm missing chat here. I don't have the chat as a pop-up. Okay, so nobody really talking here. But everyone that tuned into the stream, I appreciate you, right? Appreciate all of you guys. So Raul was asking me, oh, do I buy all my Venice here at $15? I was like, be patient. Dollar cost average is the way to go. And there you go, Raul. Now you got VVV at $12. It could drop to $10, right? And now you're getting much better exposure here by like 20%. Goes to $10. You're getting 33% better exposure. And then before you know it, it's back up to $15. You're chilling. You're in a great spot. If it then makes a move to $20, $30, $50. Let's take a look at Asteroid. Let's take a look at Asteroid for the Asteroid bros, man. Asteroid had a nice bounce, but it's coming back down again here. Okay, not bad. Not bad. High or low. Alright. Okay, Asteroid. I know Buckets and J-Dog love the Asteroid. Love the Asteroid. We are the Asteroid bros on this channel. So, like I said, 1,000,000 Asteroid is what, like $100 now? You never know, man. Imagine that, $100 for potentially the next biggest meme coin of the next cycle. Could be one of the biggest next cycle. It could be, right? $100 gets you 1,000,000 tokens here. Look at Banker coming back down to 3.8, man, and Monad back under 2 cents. I just see it as opportunity, guys. I just see it as opportunity, personally. If you got money on the sidelines, I say start to get exposure, personally, man. That's just me. But yeah, Bitcoin, let's see. Take a look at Bitcoin one more time. And a lot of coins are going to get hit here. People are calling for $1,000 per ETH. Dang. People that say 38K. Are we going to actually go all the way down to 38K? 38K. A 36% drop. Oh my goodness. Say it ain't so. I don't think so. I don't think we're getting 38K, man. You could be greedy to the upside and you could be greedy to the downside. I think the bears are just greedy to the downside that want to get 38K. I think they're greedy to the downside with that, man. I think 50K. Another 15% move. Maybe 45K, a wick to 45K. That's me. That's what I'm saying here. Like I said, how could everyone just say, oh, bottom in October and it works out for them, man? It has to catch the people off guard somehow. And if I'm wrong, just call me out. Say I'm wrong. But yeah, Bitcoin going down here again. As Gemini stated here, we see the reason could be rate hike fears. Federal Reserve expectations of rate cuts signaling 2 potential rate hikes. Okay, hawkish Fed, not great for risk assets at large. But again, man, if you got cash, if you got to work 3 jobs to get some cash, you got to get an extra job, you got to hustle to get some extra money so you could get exposure to the market, man. Even $1,000 into the market, I'm telling you, could go far. Because when you get into a bull run, guys, when you finally enter into a bull run and you see the market really start to take off, that $1,000 in the space could potentially become 10K, 30K, even 100K if you know how to rotate and compound those gains. I'm telling you. So even if you got to get an extra job, man, just hustle. If you got to get 2 jobs and you're like, dang, I got to buy these cheap prices, hey, do it. Don't give up. I'm telling you, don't give up. We're in extreme fear at 16 here, and just be patient with your DCAs. You could wait a week, you could wait 2 weeks. You see how quick things change, right? Imagine, for example, people like for example, Raul, like once again, good example, just blasted VVV at $15. He'd be down already. Since I told him the DCA, hopefully he listened. He got some exposure at 15, and now he could blast in more at $12 and still have money on the sideline to wait if it drops to $10, right? Great stuff. So I just see it as opportunity personally. That's just me. If you're tuning into the stream, guys, like the stream, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're new. We're gonna get through this, man. Don't give up. Just see it as opportunity. Crypto will come back. The industry's not dead. I'm so confident this industry will continue to thrive in the future, and I think in the next bull run, it's gonna be even more fantastic for the next bull run. Personally, I think the next bull run will be great. I really do think the next bull run will just absolutely, blow our socks off, because in 2023 to 2024, like I said, it was a Solana bull run. XRP did okay as well. Doge barely did anything, right? SWE did okay, right? SWE's back to the first time I ever saw SWE, man. 67 cents, and Ethereum barely had a bull run. This bull run was one of the worst bull runs, man. It was one of the worst. I think the next bull run is going to be great. So you just have to survive until then, guys. Really, just don't give up, man. Right? And again, let's see here. Where do I go? Okay. If you are tuning in, right, truly appreciate the support. This is why I don't like live streams. It's like, and everything okay? With a video, I could just edit it, make sure everything's good. But yeah, so if you're wondering why Bitcoin is crashing, we have potential rate hike fears, as stated by Gemini here. And with rate hikes, that creates a risk-off environment for, Bitcoin and crypto. But I say just be patient. You have your altcoins that you're bullish on. You